Yo, yo, what's going on? Back at it. Back at work. Back to the daily grind after that Traders for a Cause trip. How we doing? How we doing? Man, that was a good conference. A lot of good turnouts over there. New faces, familiar faces. Posted a bunch of it on my Twitter. Ran the blackjack tables on Sunday. I'm hoping you can get a few people on here to kind of let me know what I missed on Thursday, Friday, Monday. Let me know what kind of action, where attention was, that sort of thing. I was just running some scans. I don't know if it was busy. I don't know. So if anyone tunes on in, you can help me out. That'd be cool. Just one swipe. That was sideways the rest of the day. Timmy Trades, what's going on? It was nice to see you out there, buddy. Back at work. Back on the grind. Nice move. Throw that on watch. That daily chart's going nuts. Don't have any reverse splits or anything. Doesn't look like it. Nothing recently. You as well. It was a nice event. Yeah, I think so. I think it was. I think it turned out well. It was a good turnout, good mix. Some familiar faces that I like to chat with when I'm there, when I see them, and then even during the conference, we always get like a speaker or two that asks like how many people, is it their first time, etc. And quite a few. It was the majority of the room for sure, but I guess that fits kind of with the 90% of traders lose, so they're not they don't stay in the game. Gotta be careful here. I don't. After screaming over all the music and loud chatter, it's you can feel it in my voice. Gotta be careful I don't lose it. Is it? Okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know. Let me, or just your voice, yeah. I will unplug it and see if that fixes it. Let's see how that is. See if that's any better. Could be my voice, but I could have been the mic. Out of practice now after a few days. What other names here? Rainy. Another little gainer. See how that trend looks today. Better now. Cool, cool. Family man, what's going on? It's a nice little trend. It was a cool little, not really little, presentation from Greg LX21 with how he uses trend lines and stuff. And he uses it for trending stocks, where it's not the the end all be all for how he's going to trade something, but it's like once he's got a plan, a bias, he uses his trend lines that he draws himself for to stay in the trade, for entry ideas, that sort of thing. So something like this, low a day, draw it to the closest low was kind of his idea. Duplicate it off the highs. Then you get some moves like this. So this is now a speed up through that action. And then if we were to draw this up to the highs, see how it interacts with the lows. Pretty cool how it works. So now it comes back into play for grinding action, and these are just duplicated trend lines that kind of show how it's trending throughout the day. I thought it was kind of cool. It you draw them dynamically throughout the day, and I thought it was kind of a good idea because most indicators are not really stagnant, but they go off of previous data, where these ones you're deleting the correlation with previous data and updating it yourself in real time. So another percent gainer there, so throw that one on a list. And then I see that was rainy. What does INVO look like? Gross. That's sideways. Not really interested in that. This AMLI hit my scan. Check this daily. 1, 2, 3, 4 days without going red. Ideally, you get like a monster gap blow off, or some sort of parabolic day where volume starts to speed up. But I'll keep that one on watch moving forward. DJT, we had chit-chatted about that the other day, last week I think, about this possibly just running into the election, and so far it's just steady grind. So no real plans there, but will be a watch. I believe Americans is into November. So we'll keep a watch on this one into a news-driven event. If there's no buyers left, if they all exhaust themselves into it. Stuff like BABA, like these, kind of look like they're rolling over a bit, especially if you zoom on the daily. Parabolic, fail, and this bounce isn't holding. If it breaks prior lows. I think Futu, same kind of thing. This one's more sideways, not so much rounding action. Tiger continues on lows, broke out of this range, 750s, looking left. 750s 3 times. Then you get this high connected to this high, And that's where this bounce holds up against. Fun is the simp. Probably talking about DJT. Because, yeah, it was DWAC and then Mark was the other one. DWAC, Mark, and Fun. But Mark, I think, what is that, OTC or something now? Few 2 and A. I'm watching for continued lower tomorrow. Yeah, fades in the China names. Yeah, they look like they're rolling over a little bit. Yeah, same kind of thing. Same setup across a bunch of them. Yeah, Barker's OTC. Yeah, okay. I figured. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, in these China names, it kind of looks like they're all same setup. They've parad, pulled back, consolidated, and now they're in just this consolidation range, 18s to 16s for this one. And Baba's doing the same thing, just in this consolidation range, 110s to 106s, few 2, same kind of thing, consolidation. So I think the short setup, I think, is on a range break towards the lows, like a 102 break and confirm on few 2. Same kind of thing with EH. You get like a 1650-ish break and confirm on EH. And then just try to sit in that trend as long as possible. UXIN, while I was away, I had thought about putting a swing on this thing, but I didn't want to have to look at it. But this one just looks dead to me, especially on the daily chart wise. Like it's not bouncing. Volume is gone. It already had its attempt at a secondary move and got completely wrecked. So this higher low trend has broken. So now I'm thinking pops versus 580's risk, probably fades lower. LX, pretty impressive bounce. Could be a re-hit versus 420s, maybe. Don't really love the structure of that. I would have preferred this thing to roll over. I would have preferred it to roll over here. Thanks, Dawson, for all of the video scans. Any recent long side trade that I nailed? Recent long trades. I think my most recent long trade is probably EVGO. I think I traded that one the other day. Through this wedge break. This is just the one most recent in my mind. Where you got this downtrend. All starts from the daily where you get this big sort of episodic pivot. And then it starts holding in its upper end of its range. You get these wicks for 640s. And you get this steady lower high. So I drew trend line off of these lower highs. And got this break right here, right off the open. That was on the 9th. So right here, we get this push, failed off of it, consolidation, little higher lows. So I'm buying it right through here and risking low a day. And so this one didn't stop me out because I was risking down here. I believe I added to it even on this pull to get closer to full size, and I locked into this shove and then was locking more here and locked the rest into this little hard crack lower high, which was also these looking left 720s levels. It's the most recent one in memory. I'd have to pull up my recent trade spreadsheet to look, but I had bought DJT on that flush right here off of this looking left breakout level. It flushed out like a buck 50 right off the open. That was also on the 9th. I've been away since the 10th, so but yeah, I got a flush and it tapped right on that horizontal support and resistance. So I let it pull and I bought this candle, first green candle, but I was out fairly early. I made like 50-60 cents on it and it ended up going a nice buck. And now from there, from the 19s, it's up over $10. So obviously sold that one early. What else? UXIN, I played that one long side, but that was back here. Same kind of setup as EVGO. Yeah, you're welcome. Abhishek. Yeah, I played UXIN right here for this breakout, but I was all out by the 3s. Then up goes to 8. This Nvidia is trending nicely. That thing's breaking out once this wedge broke right there. Man. That's looking nice. Apple looks like it's gonna go. This 232s, if that gets taken out. You could even consider this, like this little wedge right here through 230. This could even be like big picture dips. Any sort of weak open tomorrow. Try and get an entry there. Because this looks like it wants to go. Yeah, I mean, I think that's inevitable that it wants to break out. Any thoughts on SGMT breakout maybe on the daily? Not trading a whole lot of volume, only 1 million shares. It does have that kind of look. No real history of runs, like this was a gap day on its last volume day. It did trend pretty nice today. Just give me a second. But yeah, SGMT, like it doesn't really have a history of big moves. Volume's not really coming in to make me think it wants to have outlier range. I don't know if there's catalyst here. I'm not really familiar with this. It's a biotech. But yeah, range is pretty muted on this name historically. And there's no volume really coming in to tell me that it wants to have range expansion. It just was a day that it trended well today. So not really something I would look to play. Do you ever play warrants? No. I know they trade thinner, but if you get it lower, it can be fruitful. Yeah, I've never touched them. I think personally, I think if I'm gonna trade the name, I'd rather just trade the name. Um, I don't. I particularly don't really want to trade something thinner. I don't mind the thicker stuff. I can get more size behind the name, more confidence, and not have to worry about the rug pulls and stuff. So if I'm gonna trade DJT, I don't think I really need to look to trade anywhere else. Like if I wanted to trade somewhere else, it would be something like if Fun actually got going. Then I'd be interested in this. I don't think, like, if I want to trade DJT, I'm not going to trade DJTW personally. I'd just rather play DJT itself. Staff has a nice chart over 11. Yeah, not bad. The only thing I would say is if you zoom out farther, where it's at in its history, like I think like this, I think looks fine over 11, like that. But I think once you're here, I don't think it looks so good over 11. Would be the difference between something like Apple. When you zoom out, this looks good over 232s, and so does this. Same kind of thing with NVIDIA. If you were to zoom, this looks good up there, looks constructive, and this looks good up constructive. So in terms of that, I would say zoom out. But Snap, if I'm playing large cap breakouts, I'd have other places like something like Apple or NVIDIA. I'd rather put my money than something like Snap, personally. Oh, it's so tough, man. Disconnecting, it's so tough from day to day. Like, you get into that routine. Monday to Friday, you're here every day. Weekend review sessions, all that kind of stuff. Journaling your trades. I was gone all weekend, so I haven't updated my spreadsheet from last week. So I'm all out of sorts with this stuff. So I'm trying to catch up. So talking in here and getting you guys telling me what you were watching is helpful. Oh, I noticed that you were drawing some trend lines differently. Is this something else? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was doing. I'll probably, Greg's a phenomenal trader. So it's not going to be something I expect to, it makes sense what he's doing, but he's been doing it for years, and I've now just seen him do it for 4 hours. So I'm not going to expect myself to be able to draw and see the trend lines the way he does, but it's probably something that I start doing a bit more to try and ride trends. Like EVGO, for example, was literally one of the examples he went over from the 9th. I think it was from this day, I believe. Because he pulled up the chart and I'm like, God, that looks familiar. And then he said easy EVGO. And I was like, yeah, I trade that thing. But he was drawing trend lines on this. And, I'm locking into strength using looking left levels, horizontal support and resistance. And I'm just locking into speed ups into those levels. So by the time I'm out, my average sell is low 7s. But by him drawing trend lines, let me see. He was drawing stuff like morning highs to the next high, duplicating them to the lows, and then basically looking for a break under it. So that would be right here with the confirm. So you've got the morning high drawn to the most recent high that doesn't intersect any previous ones. And then this one, I just duplicated it back to the lows. So you can see dips, 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 hold, lower high. And now if you're selling here, once it breaks, you're literally out in you don't, even if you don't hit the top, you're out in the 17s. So you're still up another 10 cents more than me locking into the 7s, locking into this, locking into this. I'm selling so much more already below this average. So I'm not 100% sold on me using it as an entry criteria yet, but I'm definitely intrigued on it being a process for me to hold my winners and have an actual exit instead of just arbitrary profit targets, especially on my longs when you're getting like clear skies, breakouts, and stuff. I didn't really have like a process for selling. I was just locking into sped up price action, just locking into strength, taking gains. But if I can have like a reason to sell something like that, then maybe that helps. So yeah, it is from Greg from this weekend, and he had two 20-minute time slots, and he had 200 slides on his PowerPoint to get through. So it took him 4 hours. So he took the time slots and then stayed from 2 o'clock till 6 o'clock for the 8 to 10 people that were actually dedicated enough to stick around and talk shop with him. So that was cool. Yeah, 4 hours. He's a madman. He loves the stuff though. But I was saying to him after he finished, I was like, you had a 20-minute time slot and you're now 4 hours in. I was like, there was no way you were planning on getting through that. Like, there was not a chance. So I think he did that on purpose because he's always been the type to take notes during all these presentations, and he's one of the best traders in the room, and he's always up at the front taking notes of all these up and comers that are on stage. And by Sunday evening, when the presentations are starting to wind down, the room is only a quarter full. So many people are just checked out, and they lack the passion. They don't actually love the craft. They're in it to make money, and they're not gonna withstand the test of time, because when the going gets tough, they give up. So the people that were there Sunday, I think that's why Greg planned his presentation the way he did, because he was willing to go as long as people were there willing to stay and listen to him. He was a cool cat when I talked to him last year. Yeah, I've gotten to know Greg pretty well now. I went out to his house in Arizona earlier this year. I met him the last 2 years at Traders for a Cause, and then this year, my third year out there, I had a good while talking to him. So yeah, now every time if I'm out in Arizona, there's another friend that I can reach out to and grab a bite to eat or something. Like, it's cool. He's a solid dude, and he's hilarious. His dad joke levels, they're on another level than mine. All out. Man, my voice, I can feel it. Hype and Buzz asked about drug. He's looking for a day 2 continuation. I mean, me, not in particular. This thing closed up here in the 280 range, ripped up to 360 there after hours. After hours close was pretty much flat. Daily chart wise, looking left, let's see if we get any information there. There's some overhead resistance here that we're running into. You can see this volume profile here in the 410s. So that could be a level to watch if this thing wants to gap up. Bunch more overhead resistance here. This looks like it had some not really sustained momentum. That was 1 day. There's 2 days after a big wick. 1 day gap and crap. It's not a great history of multi-day runs. This looks like a blowout into close to me, where it's like that little weak. If this were to close down here, and then this sort of happen after hours or in the morning, a close like this would have been more likely, I think, for day 2 continuation. But given that this squeezed out, I think this is all the shorts getting blown out. So I think this more favors like a 360 shove, blowout, and then failed follow through than a day 2 continuation, in my opinion. I just don't think there's shorts left in there. I think that was the final squeeze. See some talks about Mr. It's a Bitcoin play. What is this one? MicroStrategy Incorporated. What is this? MSTR. What's MicroStrategy? Software, technology. What the hell is this? I've never traded this name in my life. Bitcoin related? Okay. It just looks like it. It looks like those, the Bitcoin charts. What was that one? What was that ticker? B. It was one that Phil was long. Jeez, I can't remember it. They do own Bitcoin, yeah. Okay. It just looks like those Bitcoin charts. There was one that Phil Godecker had posted on Twitter that he was long-term position. I forget. It started with a B, I think. BITF, maybe? No. BITI? I can't remember. Jesus. I don't know. BTPT. It was... No. It wasn't that one. I'm going to find it. I'm going to pull up his Twitter here and find it. Give me 1 minute, and I think I'll be able to find it. I bet. It wasn't a starting with a B, it just had a B. There we go. I bet. This is the one he was long. And he's long back in July. Right around here. So it's trading at his average. But this is why I thought Master was a Bitcoin play. It just had this same kind of look when Phil had posted he was long this thing. I pulled up the chart just to look at it, see if it was something I was interested in, and it just looked the same. I did not know if it was, but yeah, it looks like it is. Big picture breakout, volume's really coming in there. It did have a recent reverse split on this thing. Right, 10 to 1. Is that a forward split or a reverse split? August. $10 for 1, yeah, I think this thing must have been trading like 1800 and now it's trading like 180. I think it's a forward split. But anyways, I don't really see what I'm going to do there, so probably not watching it. How was your trip to Vegas? Jenica asks. It was phenomenal. 10 out of 10. It's by far the best networking event, trading event of the year, in my opinion. It's got tons and tons of trading information. You're putting faces to names and chat rooms on a very macro level. Like, you're meeting hundreds of people instead of like the smaller ones that 10, 20 people that most of these guys can get to events. And this one's got like 250 to 300 people. And you're meeting like good traders, some developing traders, some traders on your level that you get to relate with, some that are still up and coming that you can help, and then you meet other traders that you look up to that you can just have casual conversations with. So like Greg, Nate, Bryce, Foose, he was really cool to talk to. Nice guy. Man, there's so many people. Like, I don't even know where to start. Mango, Moist Mango, you guys know him from Twitter. He was out there. I got to chit chat with him quite a bit. Brian Lee, got to talk to him. Jay Mintzmeyer, Michael Boyd, those guys over from what's their company? Value Investors Edge, I believe. Yeah, a bunch of IU guys, Taco, Anthony, Beach Kalina. Yeah, so many people, man, so many. I probably talked with, gosh, over 100 people. Scott Manzo and his son Drew. Drew's right around my age, and I think we're at a similar path in our journey, similar spot. So we hit it off. Sunday we ran the backjack tables, almost put the Palms out of business. But yeah, it was good. It was good. Was Cody there this year? No, Cody, Odd Stock Trader, was not there. He's on a cruise. Japan, I believe. I think he's in Japan. So he couldn't make it out this year. Phil Godecker, he couldn't make it out this year. Gratani, he couldn't make it out this year. Who else? Jack Kellogg, Dom Master Mateo, Michael Hudson. There's quite a few guys that just had prior commitments, couldn't make it out, but all good. SMCI, I forgot this thing did a split too. How big was their split? Because that high was is that a 10 for 1 as well? Because that high I think was around 1200. Yeah, 10 for 1 as well. What was Nuke doing? Yikes. Gross. I like this Emil. Amelie? This one keeps popping up on scans. I think this is going to be a good first red day. Same thing as Auntsie. It'll be the same thing. Something like this where you can get 20 to 30 cents. Emily will be the same thing. Just gotta wait. Just gotta wait. I'm thinking what I'm feeling right now, going through scans, is tomorrow should probably be a slow day on my end. Wake up and take it easy, and not try and nail anything. Yeah, just take it slow tomorrow. I'm thinking get the feel back, get back in the groove, not try to make up for missed days, and yeah, just kind of get back into the swing of things. Got to be careful with these events and stuff because you get this newfound motivation and like excitement back in your trading after events like this, and that can be good, but if you get a bit too trigger happy, that could be bad. So just got to be careful. Hopefully I'll meet you next year. Also, Tim Gratani, his yeah. Tim Gratani's DVD is probably like his live trading stuff. It's gotta be number one. I'm thinking. Nate's Tandem Trader was good. That was the same level of trading, education, detail stuff. But Gratani's done 2 of them now, and I vibe with his style. I'm trying not to misspeak, but I don't think there's any that I like more than his either. Like, his stuff is phenomenal. He explains well. He's super patient, very clear, stays on topic. And the patterns make sense. They click with me. So, but yeah, Gratani. I haven't met him in person yet. I've just chatted with him online. But yeah, I would like to meet him one day. But other than that, what else we got? I'm still thinking possible swing on these China names. I don't love LX as much anymore. Like, big picture wise, as long as this stays below 420, this is a lower high. But I mean, I would have preferred this to be the lower high. You got this hard crack, bounce, and just let it roll over. Now it's kind of bounced, set a higher low, and bounced. So I don't love it, but something like UXIN, this thing's rolling over. It looks dead. Like I say, it's already tried to break out. So alright, Dawson, nice chart review and scan. I'll see you tomorrow in the lounge. Yes. Thank you, family man. Thank you, Eggleston. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think I've gone through enough names, and probably just take it easy tomorrow. Get in where I fit in and make some memories. So yeah, I'll probably be watching China names, large caps and small caps, Oh, gotcha. Okay. I know who you are. Good to know. Now I know when I see the name here. Good to know. Thank you. Thank you for coming on, James. Sounds good. Jeff, thank you for coming on as well. So yeah, probably looking at Futu and Babas, my larger cap China basket, UXIN and Tiger, my smaller cap stuff. DJT, higher the better. Probably runs into the election and possible sell the news into something like that. Drug, Rainy, couple percent gainers from today, no real plans for tomorrow. And Amly, big picture, looking for a first red day there in the coming days. So there's a lot to watch here going into tomorrow, but I'll probably try to take it easy, get back into the swing of things, and yeah, trade them well. Thank you. You got it, dude. Always happy to support. Thank you. Thanks for sharing your watch list. Of course, guys, no problem. Good to be back. I love trading, so I'm happy to do it. Alrighty, thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in the room. Take it easy.